Harry here, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Had Disasters, Jutsus, and Abilities. Um, it's been a long ass time. It's been about 11 months, and it is going to be a year old What If, but I'm trying to finish all the old ones so it won't become a year old What If because my lazy ass just forgets them. But other than that, I thought I did part 3 for this, and it seems I probably did. I might have deleted it, but there's a good chance I remember doing a part of the what if for part 3, and I did it, but I think I deleted it because it was either too short or it's just taking too much of my space. I don't remember. So other than that, I only have part 1 and part 2. There's no part 3. I looked all over and there was none. So yeah. Also, shit. What's it called? Also, go subscribe to Anime Santa, Iconic What Ifs, and Obito What Ifs. Links will be in the description. But yeah, I'm going to do a recap from both. Well, not both. Mostly, yeah, both What Ifs. For not both What Ifs. Both part 1 and 2 into this part 3. So it might take a little bit too long from both of them because yeah, they're both because you probably won't remember. But let me say one thing: those things were 28 minutes long. I'm gonna try to do an hour long this one and 1 hour long what if of this, and try to finish it in either part 4 or part 5. But yeah, other than that, let me do the recap. It's kind of rare for me to say that instead of me saying I'm lazy. But I'm not that tired, but whatever. Okay, so let me start. So, Naruto, what's it called? So, recap. Naruto is from a disaster clan called the Disastrous Clan. That's what I called it last time. Of course, there's probably a good Japanese name for it, but I'm too fucking lazy to search it right now. But other than that, I'm just gonna keep calling it the Disastrous Clan because that's the thing I can remember super easily. But other than that, just know that Naruto's from that clan. His mother's side is from that clan. His father's side is from the Namikaze, and his mother's, mostly mother's side, mostly his mom's side, is from the Uzumaki. So, of course, Naruto is from a very descendant of the Disastrous clan. See, he is Namikaze, Uzumaki, and Disastrous clan. Now, of course, he kind of unlocked the power of disasters after failing the getting test about when he was 9 years old. Of course, after that, he decides to go into the forest and, of course, accidentally discover his powers and almost use the Nine-Tails powers at the same time. This is where he was too much enraged. Kurama helped him out by kind of bringing him into the mindscape and decided to help Naruto. Of course, this is where, Naruto kind of became friends with Kurama. Because, yeah, of course, this is where, Kurama and Naruto did train for, 3 years. And, of course, this is where, Naruto's very good at using all Disaster's abilities. Usually, he used them all in his mindscape. But, of course, that doesn't mean he can't use them in real life. So, of course, he can use almost all of them. Of course, this is where he activated a dojutsu that was actually like a gray Sharingan. Gray eye, but with tomoes in it. More than just 3 tomoes like a Sharingan. He was not no Uchiha, but instead a very, very rare type of dojutsu that's from the Disastrous clan. The tomoes are basically just, if you have 1 tomoe, you will only have 1 disaster ability. If you have 2, you will have 2 disasters. If you have 3, you have 3 disasters. There are so many disasters elements in the clan that there wasn't that many to. There was a lot to keep track of. So of course Naruto had about a lot. He had a lot of tomoes. Of course it was too hard to count, so he just gave up. He found out that he had multiple of them. But of course the dojutsu, why it's so rare is because it increases the disaster. When you activate the what's called dojutsu, it does increases your disaster ability to be stronger than the one that you will have without the dojutsu. Of course, where Naruto, he had that eye. Of course, he found out that he can actually evolve it into like a stronger version than having this Tomoe Sharingan into this kind of spinning one. But yeah, this spinning type of Jutsu. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto, he hasn't unlocked the second one yet, but he does know that there might be a second one. It might be just like the Sharingan, because, well, the Disastrous Clan is actually something separate from the Uzumaki, Namikaze, Uchiha, Senju. They're separate. It's a separate clan from all of those clans that are either from, well, Hagoromo, Hamura, Ashura, or even Indra. All those clans are separate from the Disastrous Clan. The Disastrous Clan is actually from some other Uzutsuki, a being that actually came to the planet to kind of just mingle around. That's the easiest way I can say. Not really. He was just wanting to have a home. Of course, the Uzutsuki did meet. The Uzutsuki did meet what's it called? Hamuro, Hamuro and Hamura. Well, Hagoromo and Hamura. I don't know why I said Hamura. No. Hagoromo and Hamura. Of course, when they seal Kage away, but the Uzutsuki just says, I'm just not going to bother you guys. I'm leaving. So, of course, Kurama does know information about this Uzutsuki from this clan. Of course, he doesn't know much of it because this clan was actually on an island far away from every other 5 great nation. They don't want to deal with anyone. So, of course, Naruto, he was, well, from this clan, so yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto, he actually, after learning that many powers and all that, when he was 12 years old and taking the Genin test, he beat the crap out of Sasuke and actually uses her tornado attack to smash Sakura and crack her head and killing her. Of course, multiple people were outraged of Naruto. The civilians and the clan heads were outraged of Naruto having a, what's called, council meeting. Danzo got killed when Naruto made it rain for so many days, making a flood, and Naruto can actually turn into water. Think of it like Sugetsu. You know how Sugetsu can turn into water and go into the water and jump out? Yeah, that's what Naruto does. He did that and killed Danzo with a dagger. A dagger. A dagger and cut Danzo's head off, also killing the root Anbus. This is where Naruto went to kill multiple Anbus and even kill some civilians and civilians council meter like civilians heads and what's it called? Clan heads. Also in the council meeting. Of course, this is where Naruto. What the hell? Okay, there was something on my face, so that's why I was like trying to swing it away. But Naruto, he found the what's it called? Clan heads. Well, in the council meeting, he killed Sakura's mother by throwing an ice spear to her head. Another couple of council meetings that were, well, not council meetings, council members that were civilian, killing him with an ice, what's it called, ice like spear to the head. And of course, he can, what's it called? He also did use some lightning to smite some people, but yeah. Of course, he made a giant volcano, just one giant rock hitting the Hyuga clan, what's it called, compound, and he actually was pissed. He actually tried to attack Naruto, but Naruto kicked his ass so easily. Naruto then left the village because that was his threatening words. If the village didn't like let him leave, he would use the volcano to blow it up. Of course, he left. The volcano did go back down, and Naruto disappeared from, well, the Leaf Village. He then decided to meet Tazuna, and well, Naruto decided to help Tazuna because Tazuna said he would give him a boat and some money. Naruto decides to help him, and of course, Naruto defeated the 2 Chunin demon brothers, and also defeated, well, Gato. This is where, well, Naruto decided to get to the Mist Village, and of course, met, well, Zabuza and Haku. Of course, he did give Zabuza money to ask him where the, well, island will be at. Of course, this is where Haku was kind of saying that he's a dude, but yeah, he was a dude and another. And this is where, well, oh, I found the bug. Motherfucker. Never mind. What's it called? Of course, this is where, well, Haku said it was a dude because Naruto was confused if he was a dude or a girl, and he said he was a dude. And of course, Naruto's like, where? But Zabuza did help him in finding that island. This is where, well, Naruto is going to the island. Of course, this is where Naruto is going towards the island. And when he gets close to the island, he sees, well, what's it called? Yagure and his forces already attacking this island. This is where Naruto sees Yagure and the forces trying to attack this island. And of course, multiple members are right now using, whirlpools. Right now, whirlpools to kind of just sink in the ninjas down and drown their ass. This is where Yagure is getting angry. This is where Yagure transformed into the Three Tails. Into like the giant Three Tails. This is where, Naruto, well, it was already the end of the recap, but okay, Naruto saw Yagure trying to attack his clan forces. And of course, this is where Yagure transformed into the Three Tails. And this is where Naruto sees the Three Tails. And this is where Naruto says, Kurama. Kurama says, yeah, I know. Just summon me out, I'll beat his ass. Naruto, he jumps in front of where Yagure sees Yagure. And this is where Naruto by his thumb and says, summoning style. He summons out, well, Kurama. Kurama roars. This is where Kurama just punches the Three Tails in the face, throwing him back into the water because the Three Tails was somewhere in the water, but was right now standing on water and then just gets punched by Kurama. This is where Kurama roars and starts fighting against the Three Tails. Right now, the Three Tails and even, well, Nine Tails are right now clashing in power. Yagure is transformed while the Nine Tails is summoned out. This is where, well, Naruto, he is what's called, well, seeing this battle. And of course, this is where Naruto sees multiple ninjas kind of going around the Three Tails and Nine Tails battle. And this is where Naruto says, Kurama, just hurry up and do a Biju bomb or something. This is where Kurama says, got it. This is where Naruto goes through hand signs and says, what's called hurricane style. Well, not hurricane style. He says, 4 tornadoes from the sky appears. Naruto's eyes already did go into the Jutsu. And this is where Naruto says, 4 tornadoes, heavenly pillars. This is where 4 tornadoes come down and start kind of going through the forces of Yagure, spinning them into the tornado and launching their ass straight up in the air. And of course, when they land on the water, how the water is, okay, you think that water will be soft if you're kind of high, falling from a very high place. Not really. That water will turn into concrete. And when you hit the, concrete water, it will feel like concrete and break all your bones. So, yeah. I found that out. Yeah, it was a bad idea to jump from a very high place into water It's a bad thing, but yeah. Of course, multiple ninjas were getting killed. Of course, they started drowning, and yeah. Some of their bodies, backs and all that broke, like mostly their spine, making them paralyzed and fall down the water and drown. So yeah, Naruto is mostly protecting his clan. This is where his clan ceases, or multiple disastrous members, and they were saying, wait, that jutsu, that's what's called tornado style. This is where they look at, an older member, and the older member says, that is not me. The older member has grayish eyes into 1 tomoyan in each eye. This is where, he's saying that is not me. This is where a female with long gray hair says, then who is it? If it's not you, who is it that's able to summon the Nine Tails and be able to use 4 tornadoes than just 1? I don't know. This person must be advanced, or he's just someone that's has able to master disaster powers without the disaster Kekkei. But why would he help us instead of help Yagure attack us? This is where the female says, I don't know. This is where Naruto 10 says, Kurama, are you ready? Kurama did send a Biju as Yagure. Yagure just sent his own Biju. They both clashed, exploded. And this is where Kurama jumps out of the way from the tornadoes. This is where Naruto says, tornado combination. Oh yeah, tornado combination. This is where Naruto puts both his hands together. And this is where Naruto says, Hurricane! This is where all tornadoes decide to combine together and become a giant hurricane. This is where the hurricane goes to the three toes, and the three toes did try to stand on water, but of course it's getting lifted up by the hurricane and getting spin the fuck around. Of course, this is where Yagare can't do anything but sends water attacks at Kurama Naruto. Naruto uses what's it called the water below him and says tsunami wa. This is where Kurama and Naruto were blocked from the water attacks, and of course this is where Naruto lets go of the water tsunami wa, and this is where Naruto then says. Lightning storm break. This is where multiple thunders in the sky started rumbling with thunder, and multiple lightning and thunderbolts started just going straight to the hurricane and just shocking Yagare in his three-tail form. This is where he can't, even if he's in his three-tail form, he is right now getting barbecued by a thunder. Just keeps hitting the hurricane multiple times. Like 10 thunderbolts hits the hurricane per second. And of course, this is where Yagare cannot resist. Is what's it called? Three-tailed cloak going back to the cloak, then becoming normal, and then dying. Because, Naruto fully murdered Yagare. This is where the nine tails says, "Hey Naruto." This is where Naruto says, "Yeah, what do you want?" "It seems that you actually killed Yagare. You know the three tails will reform back when it's 4 years." Naruto says, "Really? Is that how it works?" Kurama says, "Of course, idiot." Of course, this is where, Naruto then sees his clan, and he sees a couple members are right now on the shore and all that. And this is where Naruto says, "Hey Kurama, we might have to just go over there." Kurama nodded and says, "Then let's go." This is where Kurama is still on the water, and of course his pod does go down to the water shore, but of course since he's a big ass fox, and it's the 4 nine tails, I think I mentioned that. I think it's the 4 nine tails. And of course this is where, he's kind of just walking towards the shore of the, village. Of course this is where Kurama poofed away because Naruto was on top of his head right now. This is where Naruto landed onto the shore. Onto the shore of the island. This is where Naruto sees multiple members of, the, clan. This is where, he sees multiple members, but most of those members has different colored hairs. Some of them has a bluish type of hair color that reminds Naruto of like the seed color. Some of them has like an orangey red kind of hair color that reminds him of fire. Some of them has a very kind of spikily electricity kind of hairstyle that kind of reminds him of like lightning and thunder and all that. Some of them has a very, grayish kind of color that reminds him of wind. Let's just reminds him of like wind, hurricane, tornadoes, or whatever. A very powerful gust of wind. This is where, Naruto says, hello? This is where the older man that had the Dojutsu, he didn't just have one tomoe, he had 3 tomoes in each, but of course there were different colors. Naruto does also, his own tomoes has different colors. Of course he can just either use one tomoe for one ability, or he can use multiple of them, and multiple eyes of the tomoe will kind of appear. So yeah, of course this is where, or mostly start glowing. This is where Naruto kind of looks at the older man and bows down. This is where, the older man does bow down also, and of course this will be kind of nice to see if Naruto is on their side or not. Because they didn't really know what happened to Yagare. Yagare just got murdered. He is dead. He is, the dead third Mizukage. Of course, this is where, Naruto, he is kind of looking at the older man, and the older man looks at Naruto, and Naruto says, hello there. You must be one of the disastrous members. This is where the older man nodded. He then asked Naruto, who is he and why is he here? Naruto says, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Terrestrial's clan. disastrous. This is where, well, the older man says, Uzumaki Namikaze. Uzumaki. Ah, the Uzumaki, now I remember. We're kind of friends and allies with him. We don't know what really happened to them because they mostly got attacked by 5 great nations and we kind of lost connection with them. And since you're saying you're an Uzumaki, why is your hair yellow then? Naruto says, because of the Namikaze. This is where, well, the older man nodded. The Namakazes did have yellow hair. This is where, well, the man says, okay, then why does your last name as disastrous? Naruto says, because I'm either a descendant of the clan. I don't know from which side of my family side. I'm guessing the Namikaze. But yeah. This is where Naruto activated his eyes to show the, what's it called, Jutsu. This is where, well, the man says, that does kind of prove that you're from this clan. But, why are you here? This is where Naruto says to, well, just enjoy life. I didn't really want to live in my old village because of some reasons that I won't discuss because it kind of gives me worse memories. So that's why I came to just live here. This is where, well, the old man said, okay, then follow me. This is where they both go. Even the other clan members who were kind of younger than Naruto saw were a little bit like either to 20 to 35, well, not 20, mostly to like 20, mostly 18 to like 27 young. This man was at least 50 years old, and Naruto was confused. This is where, well, the older man takes him to this place. There's like this kind of weird ball in the middle. Of course, this is where Naruto sees the crystal ball, because it's actually a crystal ball. And this is where the older man says, put your hand into that crystal ball. And this is where Naruto does. He puts his one hand, his mostly right hand. And this is where the man says, concentrate and let us see what you have for disasters. This is where Naruto, he only did show what's called his doju to be in a, what's called second, well, not even second form, just to have one tomoe and one eye in each eye, so yeah. And this is where Naruto, he activates all the tomoes in his eye. And this is where the crystal ball cracks a little bit, because there's so many what's called different disasters inside this crystal ball. This crystal ball is, well, something sacred that's actually supposed to let them see about which disaster a young person has. Any young person, from either childhood birth or from them being older. So yeah, it just ranges in when your ability will unlock. And Naruto's ability unlocked when he was kind of 9. Of course, the crystal ball did crack when multiple things started appearing: lightning, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, lightning storms, this, and this. Forest fires, a volcano, earthquake, this, more, acid rain. I can't really think of all the what's called different disasters in the world, but yeah. Also, blizzard, snowstorm, yeah. This is where, well, Naruto then just says, is that enough? This is where the older man widens his eyes and bows down and says, I didn't know that a royal member of the Disastrous clan survived. This is where Naruto says, what do you mean, royal member? This is where the older man says, ah, you don't know about the bloodline of the royalties. Well, let me explain to you. This is where Naruto gets a 30-minute long explainment about the royalty and the non-royalty. The royalty family members are from a direct descendant of, well, the Otsutsuki. While the non was really not that much a direct descent. They're mostly descendants of, well, what's it called? They're descendants of the Otsutsuki, but not directed. So yeah. The Otsutsuki created 3 of them, so yeah. Well, not 3 of them. Mostly created 2 separate clans that were in the, what it's called, the Disaster Clan. Just one was royalty while the other one was not. The royalty was able to unlock more than just a couple of disasters than the non one. non-royalty one. So of course is where, well, Naruto is considered to be a descendant of the royalty. This is where Naruto says, royalty? You said? This is where the older man says, yes. This is where Naruto says, okay, Josh, Josh, Disastrous, that's his name. This is where Naruto says, okay, Josh, so, if I'm from a royalty descendant, does that mean that's why I'm able to use more disasters than just a couple? This is where Josh says, yes. This is where Naruto says, huh. Then, am I considered to be the young prince? Or, Josh says, for right now, you'll be considered the young prince. But when you're older, you'll be considered king. Mostly the clan head of this clan. This is where Naruto nodded and says, then I'll be looking forward to be willing to be trained under you. This is where, well, Josh says, but, well, that is true. There's no other royalty members. I guess I'll take you on, Naruto, as my young apprentice. Besides, I'm honored to be working along with the young prince of our clan. This is where we go into a couple of months later. Now, the Leaf Village is kind of trying to repair itself, but they're trying to hide the fact that they lost their Nine-Tailed Jerky. Shit. But yeah. Of course, this is where May and her forces did invade what's it called, the Mist Village, when they heard that there was no Yagami. Which they took over the village pretty easily, thanks to Zabuza and Haku, because Zabuza had enough money for the funds to actually, well, kind of help, well, May. This is where, well, May took over and realized that, well, Yagami wasn't here. And she is kind of paranoid, but of course, she realized that she now has the village under control, so of course she doesn't care. This is where, well, she starts fixing everything. Fixing all the, well, bloodline racism, the racism. Of course, this is where she fixed all of that to make peace inside the village. Of course, the village was already kind of saddened. Well, saddened the fact that they had to hate the bloodlines because of Byakuya. So, of course, it wasn't that hard for them to kind of bring back the bloodlines together and not hate them and not kill them at all. Because they were mostly forced by Yagami. So, of course, after that, this is where May had to take, well, a very long time to kind of, well, keep the border still shut. Because she still doesn't want anyone to figure out that, well, Yagade's gone and the village is in turmoil. The reason why is because villagers might try to evade the village. So, of course, she is thinking not to do that. Because that is a stupid idea. So, of course, this is where, well, she's going through like the other islands to kind of get help from them, or mostly help them and let them help him, or mostly her, mostly. Of course, this is where the one, well, island she doesn't dare to kind of go annoyed is with the Disastrous clan. The reason why is because even if she tries to, well, talk to them, there's a good chance a tornado might hit her. Because, well, the Disastrous clan does not talk to any sort of five great nation at all. Doesn't matter if you're powerful or not. They will legit wipe you out in an instant. That actually did happen because she can remember one incident that the Disastrous clan wiped out almost an entire clan. And that was the Kaguya clan. The Kaguya clan was sent by Yagami because Yagami wanted to invade it before him doing himself. And of course, this is where, well, the Kaguya clan did try to attack the Disastrous clan with their bone techniques. Well, they almost got instantly wiped out because of the Uzumaki's help and the Disastrous clan kind of whooping their ass. So, yeah. Of course, this is where May noticed that, yes, the only allies the Disastrous clan had was the Uzumaki. But, yeah. Now, the Disastrous clan did not know about the Uzumakis being killed because they thought that the Uzumakis were still allies and were sending any messengers help. The Uzumakis could not send any messengers help because of, well, they got attacked during the night. But that doesn't mean any Uzumakis did not fled towards the disastrous island. There's still Uzamakis with the disastrous clan. So yeah, this is where May just says, you know what, I'm not gonna bother and asking them because I feel like they will probably wipe us out. I'm not thinking of this village is gonna be easily wiped out by that. Yeah, nah, I'm good. This is where Naruto is right now training with the old man, using what's called different abilities at the same time, learning how to use what's called jutsus. He says, fire style, forest fire, cremation, burn. This is where he sends a large wave of fire, burning through anything that stands in his way. This is where, the older man says, water style, water tsunami. Tsunami wall appears, but then rushes forward to the fire wall. That's where both powers clash. And of course, this is where the fire gets extinguished and rushes straight to Naruto. Naruto then says, tornado style. Tornado wall. The tornado wall blocks the tsunami by kind of pulling the tsunami towards Naruto, but then pulling it around to push it back to, the older man. The older man realized that, the tsunami is coming towards him. Naruto just made a wall full of tornadoes. Well, one tornado to kind of reflect the attack. So, yeah. This is where, Naruto is just like looking at, the older man, and the old man managed to, dodge the tsunami by jumping it over. That's where, the old man kind of collapsed and says, good job, Naruto, good job. Let's go eat now. So, yeah, that's what happens. But we go into a time skip of Naruto being 17 now. Naruto was 12, but now he's 17. Naruto is now, at the proper age to become king. Now, of course, Naruto just doesn't become king because he's still helping his village without becoming king. By that of him alliance with the what's called Mist Village. He did talk to May, and May was happy to know that one of, mostly a disastrous clan decides to alliance with him. Now, of course, this is where, Naruto did kind of alliance with the Mist Village, and of course, alliance with a couple other, smaller nations, like Darkness Country. He managed to alliance with him, with Darkness Country. Of course, this is where, Darkness Country had, a couple of clans, but of course, they weren't like a big nation. So, of course, Naruto just talks to the, what's called clan heads and, the Darkness Nation. It didn't really have a direct, what's called government. So, of course, Darkness Country just aligns with the Disaster Clan being underneath Naruto's, rule. Of course, Naruto had kind of made a invention, mostly kind of got the tech from, Snow Country to make something very advanced. Teleportation. This is where the teleportation is kind of added with the Uzumaki seals, but also kind of put in a kind of, little machine that allows him to teleport from either the Mist Village towards the Disaster Clan or Darkness Country. So yeah, of course, multiple people can use it, but he has his own to go from office to office to office. So yeah, of course, where Naruto, he did also align with the Snow Country since he was the one to help Snow Country free from basically Tabata, and of course has met Yuki, and of course Yuki did talk to Naruto before. Of course, she is very friendly and likes Naruto. That's why Naruto is very friendly to her and it's okay with her. Of course, he can see that she gets kind of obsessive with him, but yeah. Of course, I should mention what Naruto looks like. Naruto has he has yellow hair, but he also has black stripes of hair. Well, not black mostly. It's kind of like, it's black. Of course, as well, Naruto also, not black, mostly red. So, of course, Naruto also wears he wears no headband because he's not really part of any village entirely. He's part of what's called the Disaster Clan one, but yeah. Of course, he does wear what's called a black shirt, kind of his coat, he wears a coat, but this coat is kind of like black. He wears what's called blue pants and, well, black sandals. This wear, well, dark blue pants mostly. They're like navy. But of course, Naruto, he does like wear all that. Of course, he does have a pouch full of, well, ninja supplies like shurikens and kunais, but yeah, he barely uses them, but when he does uses them, he usually uses them with his jutsus or abilities, but yeah. But yeah. Of course, Naruto, his plan was mostly his plan was actually to raise up his clan, mostly clan heads. Well, not clan head, mostly raise up his help between the three, places that he needs to go. Darkness Country he helped up with what's it called. He helped him with the economy, the economy by kind of selling some goods and all that. And of course, selling some goods to other villages, but also like kind of selling them towards Mist Village and also Disaster Village. We're mostly Disaster Clan Island, but yeah, of course that did happen. And Naruto does this, but yeah, no one knows that this is Naruto doing his doing. Now I should mention one thing: in the tuning exams in the Leaf Village, with Naruto not being there, what's called Gaara decides to destroy a part of the village. Now, of course, Gaara didn't get captured because most of his siblings managed to grab him and kind of take him away. But yeah, of course, Hiruzen got killed by Orochimaru, and Hiruzen almost leveled the village entirely. But yeah, that's where Hiruzen did manage to seal off Orochimaru's arms, but that didn't work because Orochimaru still managed to grab, Tsunade to heal his arms, but then Orochimaru betrayed her and killed her. This is where Orochimaru also, managed to get Jiraiya on the upper hand and kill him, and did also manage to get Sasuke's body. Now, Sasuke 17, but his body did get taken by Orochimaru. But yeah, way earlier, but yeah. So Orochimaru is the one in control of the Uchiha's body. So yeah, of course he wants what's called Itachi's kind of body, but he needs his eyes instead because he will need it for the Mangekyou Sharingan because he doesn't want Sasuke's eyes to go blind. But yeah, so yeah, the Leaf Village is entirely kind of gone. The whole village kind of almost got wiped out. Almost because, well, there's part of some clans actually did left when the village was falling down. Somewhat, they managed to escape. The Aburame managed to escape to Grass Country. The Akamichi and Anarwa managed to escape and actually met up in the what's called Mist Village, and did also met Naruto there. The Hyuga clan actually got one member captured, and that is not the Hyuga got captured by the Raikage, and it's right now being used as to get more children of Hyuga. This is where Hinabi she was also captured, but yeah, wasn't caught. The Yamanaka was they actually went towards the Sand Village, but yeah, of course the Sand Kazekage, he did get killed, so of course the Kazekage had to be Gaara, and Gaara did kind of align himself with Mist Village because yeah, they had good trades and all, and Naruto did convince Gaara to become, not Gaara. Gaara didn't become the Kazekage. It was mostly Tamari because she was the oldest one, and Gaara was still unstable. But yeah, of course, Tamari was okay with the Yamanaka coming to their mostly village. But yeah, because they do need more clans. They're fine with the Yamanaka, but yeah. Ino was actually now tuning Sand Shinobi, but yeah. Asuma, Sarutobi, and his Sarutobi clan, they wanted to still rebuild the clan for the Leaf Village, or not clan, mostly tried to rebuild the Leaf Village, so they stayed. And of course they died. Also, what's it called? The Inuzukas, they tried to fled, but when they tried to fled towards, the Mist Village, Mist Village denied their request, and of course, the Inuzukas had to go somewhere else. They managed to get to another country, a smaller country, but yeah. I'm gonna say it was. They managed to fled and get to what's called Flower Country, but yeah. Of course, one person died in the Inuzuka, or a couple people died, but mostly it was Kiba that died, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, other people managed to fled away, but yeah. Of course, multiple Leaf Shinobis, well, multiple Leaf Ninjas and Shinobis did try to get into Mist Country and even Sand Country, but they got slaughtered before even touching feet into it. But yeah, because Sand Country did not want ninjas from the Leaf or even civilians. Same with Mist, they did not want any of that part of. So yeah, of course, is where, well, Naruto is now supposed to be the clan head of, well, the Disastrous Clan. Now, Naruto really didn't have anyone particular to kind of have children, so he didn't really care about that in his own clan. But yeah, he mostly was too focused in, well, rebuilding his clan, rebuilding what's called the Mist Village, and even Darkness Country, and still helping what's called the Sand Village. He did have his eyes on Tamari just a little bit, but not much. He saw Tamari to be a strong Kunoichi, but yeah. But Naruto didn't really care. So yeah. Of course, is where, well, Naruto, he is right now just in the village and just training and all that. Of course, he doesn't know about the Akatsu's coming up and trying to take, well, Gaara and the other people, other Jinchurikis. He doesn't know about the Akatsu's entirely. But of course, other than that, Gaara did get taken, and of course, well, Tamari did notify Naruto and the Mist Village kind of group and all that. But yeah, she kind of used the teleportation because she does have a teleportation mission and a machine, and of course, message Naruto, or kind of told Naruto, because Naruto was in his office right now. Of course, this is where Naruto nodded and said, "I will help you, Tamari." This is where Tamari was glad. Naruto went by himself to fight against the Akatsu's. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 3 of What If Naruto Had Disasters, Jutsus, and Abilities. Part 3. I thought I made part 3, but I think I didn't. But okay. So, what will happen next time? Well, you will have to stay and find out until what happens next time. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sleep, potato, and potato.